Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello, everybody. I'm doing this super late at night, so excuse my tiredness. Hello, world. I am What If Study, and today we are doing What If Deku was raised by Arceus, Part 2, or whatever I decide to name it. Deku, coming back to this world, had made friends again with Tepig, and had gained the system ability from Arceus. Arceus now talking inside of his brain. Arceus herself would not actually help him day to day. She would pitch in a little bit whenever he was confused about the system. However, needed much time to recover. As such, Arceus could not respond to a lot of his questions. So he got curious about the world around him. However, before any of that happened, right as he came back, after making quick friends with Tepig, Meow started flowing right out of the sky. A cat just falling from the sky. Whoa, 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 whoa! As then he falls straight onto Deku's head, using his head as sort of like a bouncy thing. He's like, "Thanks, kid, you saved my fur!" Ugh. Like, holy shit, that was a long fall. He's like, "What did I say about using bad words?" Meow's like, shirt. He's like, "That was the worst save in the world." He's like, "I know. Still, kid, you saved my fur. Thank you." Oh, man. As then, a message pops up saying, relationship with Meowth is instantly at an all-time high, level 3. And then there's it has this red mark next to it, a dash, 4. There's a level beyond 3? Is it possible that there's more levels beyond this? However, he can't deal with that right now, as there's even more notifications. Meowth's ability, Cunning. Meowth's Cunning instantly affects him. He starts to get more curious about the world, while he also starts to sense everything around him much better. He starts to grow a little bit of cat ears on his cheeks, having sort of the effects of Meowth go through his veins. As he uses this ability, he also starts to question the whole entire place. Everything becomes much more curious. Everything becomes much more enlightened to him. He can finally get his brain straight. He deactivates it as he realizes that he hadn't gone into town for at least 2 months after this. He had only stayed outside with Tepig for this whole entire time. And with Meowth, Tepig and him had gotten to level 2 friendship, after all, and Deku was able to spit fire just a little bit. Not exactly any of his moves yet. Deku makes his way into the inner city, moving out from the enchanted forest full of fairy Pokemon. None of them really stuck out to him, as he never thought that many of their abilities would be very useful. At least dream eating from, ghost Pokemon that he also found in the forest. Suspiciously not a very useful thing. Not very useful to him. It wouldn't affect anybody. So, Deku makes his way into the city. He finds his way into the city where basically Pokemon tournaments are not to be found. This society doesn't battle Pokemon. It doesn't use Pokemon as much as he would have expected. She said that Pokemon have been here for 5,000 years now. How is this possible? As she explains that, the people here just pretend that Pokemon are normal animals, how they would react to it, at least. Some keep them as pets, sure, but they don't battle them. That's slavery, Deku, come on. As he's like, I was just wondering. Okay, jeez. As he makes his way throughout the city, getting more curious and curious. And of course, he is only, he has only the body of an 8-year-old, so of course he's going to get into trouble going down some backstreet alleys. As then, he runs into a girl named Toga. as she was, making her way throughout the back alleyways, she says, "Muck, use slime attack." As several cops trip over the Muck's attack, being tripped, all this stuff, and they're like, "A Pokemon being commanded by its user? What the hell?" As nobody had ever even heard of that until this point. And until she just bumps straight into Deku, and she's like, "Oh, get out of my way, kid." As Deku's like, "Oh, sorry, are you hurt?" She's like, touched by his like absolute grin and like unwavering smile, and she's like, "What the fuck is up with this kid?" She's like, "Well, just go with me then, if you want to stick around me so much." As he uses Meowth's speed to catch up with her, as she dashes down some back alleyways and then runs into her little den. Deku uses Meowth's wisdom and ducks under the little cartridge thing that allows him to go into her little hidey hole, which he glides straight into this gigantic den of what he can count up to almost 20 poison or sort of dark Pokemon. Not very many useful ones here, however, as he doesn't really want to go down that route. However, she has. As he looks up to see Toga, as she cleans off her hands from, the muck that had been spouted everywhere, Muck slowly makes his way seeping through the ceiling as it falls onto her shoulder and then slips down onto the floor from her leg. She fondles with the sort of ball, the slime, putting it up into a ball and then throwing it at Deku. As he swiftly catches it and, kind of fumbles it with it and almost lets it fall, however, catches it right at the end. She says, "Quick hands! Did you come here for a heist or something? Why come directly to me anyways?" As he says, "No, I just came here because I'm interested. Why do you like Pokemon so much?" "Like Pokemon? What is this kid talking about? What are you doing down a back street like this anyways? Don't you know it's dangerous?" "Well, no, I haven't been here in almost 4 years. 4 years. What, kid? What is this kid talking about? You're cute, though. What do you want? Anyways." What do I want? Oh yeah, I just wanted to meet you. What's your name?" This kid. "My name is Toga." "What's yours? I guess I have to ask now." Deku. Izuku. Deku's just what people call me." "That means that they're calling you loser, kid. You gotta stand up for yourself sometimes." "I know that, but more destruction in the world only comes right back to you. You spouting some, some theoretical shit over there instead of, even though you're only 8. Oh, no, my body is just 8. I actually am around, I would say, 15 by this point? I think so." "What?" Let's just say I have a quirk. Yeah, a quirk that allows me to stay the same age while my mind matures. So you have immortality. Some sort of that. I see. So what, you're gonna use it to rob people or something? Like I said, I'm not a robber, okay? I only came here to say hello. I shall be leaving now. As she throws a knife right at the, hidey hole exit. As then he says, "Fine, I actually came here. Well, because I saw you being so nice with the Pokemon. Nobody around here seems to understand them." As he holds out his hand, Muck instantly comes up to his hand and, wraps around it, wrapping throughout his clothes as he says, "Oh, that's actually kind of relaxing. I could use you for some massage therapy. Why are you stealing things?" As instantly as he says, "Give me back my watch." As Muck's like, "Aw, Muck." He's like, "Do it." As Muck puts up his wallet as he's like, "See? And she's like, no, Muck, no, likes no one. How does he trust you? I'll tell you if you come with me. I don't trust this one bit. However, fine. As they walk outside the hidey hole, she brings Muck inside of her clothes, and I think she brings some other dark. Oh yeah, she brings her ghost Pokemon, like a Haunter or something like that, and it follows her shadow. As they walk outside the city, Deku takes her out to his little place up in the forest and introduces her to all the fairy Pokemon and all the nice Pokemon that he knows, not dark and scary ones that don't make you want to do bad stuff. She's like, whoa, I thought Pokemon were only made to be used to steal things. He's like, I know, surprising, right? She's like, you're a funny one too. So what now? What did you exactly plan? Is there some police waiting for me out in these woods? Police? No. I only want you to come up on the mountain with me. I want to show you something absolutely amazing. She says, alright. Fine. Since you seem like a nice kid, I guess this will count as our first date. What's a date? Oh no. I'll explain on the way. As then they start heading up the mountain, into the jagged mountains, Deku senses the powerful, feeling of something only a legendary Pokemon could give off. Specifically, a bird. As he climbs up to the absolute top with her, as she's like, why did we have to walk all the way up? There's some, actual motorbikes that can go up this mountain, right? He's like, nothing like what I can do. As, he makes friends with an Aria that has been floating around on the mountaintop as a cloud. As then, he gets level 1 with the Aria. As the Aria actually takes quite a lot of liking to him. Him and Toga start to sit on top of the Aria as it picks them all the way up to the top of the mountain. Deku tests out breathing as now he breathes clouds, which is interesting for level 1 with Aria. As Toga's like, that's one weird quirk. As he says, yeah, it's got a multitude of uses. As he's like, I wonder if this works just like the video games, like I have an inventory. As he checks, as he tries to flip around his little screen that says stats, which he doesn't even know how he's going to upgrade anyways, but it seems that cloud breathing actually ups his vitality and endurance. Apparently it makes his lungs clearer. Who knows? As she says, I don't even know what the fuck. Okay. As then they get all the way up to the top of the mountain. As, they meet quickly face to face with the great ice bird, Articuno. As, Toga is just like, what the fuck? I mean, I've heard of legends of it, but Deku, are you sure of this? As, Articuno's gigantic icy wind, takes over the whole rest of the mountain, creating gigantic ice chandeliers above them. Almost an ice castle was made from its distress from, seeing them. He says, oh, I'm sure of this. And with that, I'm going to complete this special quest no matter what. As he finally reveals what his special quest was, and it's actually to find his first legendary. Something that would reward him a cosmic summoning. Something that he doesn't even know what it is. It took a while to figure it out, but using the cat sense, I could finally find it out. Could figure it out just by pure, intelligent rolling it through, And as Deku and her make their way up to the Articuno, they finally enter the Articuno's den, I would say. A gigantic cave on the top of the mountain that overlooks all the rest of the region that they currently live in. The whole city, they could see barely any of the lights anymore. After all, it had become night as they got up there. Deku, Now, seeing the sunlight eclipsing back on the top of the mountain, the sun peering over, the shards blinds him a little bit, as then he finally lays eyes on Articuno, the legendary bird he was here for. He walks forward, holding his hand out. However, he can feel that there is very much hostility between the Articuno and him, as it's guarding one of its eggs. As it seems that it's protective of its eggs. Something must have happened. As he reaches out to touch the forehead of it, basically memories are shot into him of a man that came up here and started taking care of the babies while the Articuno was hurt, allowing the Articuno time to come back. However, the man had returned every single day after that. It did not expect that, and liked the man very much. However, it was all betrayed one night when the Articuno trusted him enough to leave the nest, and the man took the both of her eggs. As such, she's very hesitant and actually, screeches and pushes Deku away. However, he does see a woman inside of her dreams. A woman that had beaten the man up and brought him back up. A woman beating him up? They're women heroes now? See, he lived in a different time, alright? A time where women couldn't be heroes. Wasn't allowed, kind of. So he's very surprised by it being a woman. However, he's like, oh, Toga would be perfect. Just dress her up to look like the woman, right? So by his memory, he writes on the ground, Midnight. Or at least her face in perfect form, as he's like, okay, we have to make you look like her. She's like, dude, my quirk. And he's like, what about, you have a quirk? She's like, yeah, literally almost everybody has a quirk. He's like, well, shit, I don't have a quirk. She's like, all right, well, let's give this a try. As she shifts perfectly into Midnight, she's like, wow, I'm very impressed that I actually got that right. He's like, all right, Articuno. And then he jazz hands, presents, Midnight to Articuno. As it comes very close to Midnight, and almost like knocks her over with just the sheer wind force of it coming over, and rumbles the rest of the cave, almost knocking over the ice shards. Deku slowly makes his way over to the eggs as it continues to squawk and frets a little bit as it stares into Midnight's eyes. However, Toga actually gets a sense of this sort of rushing around, this sort of feeling of it losing so much. She connects to it as she puts forth her hand as Deku did before. Hopefully this will get to her. Then she feels the same memories come into her. Then she sheds a tear and hugs the Articuno, comforting it as they both cry together about its lost children. Deku, picks up the egg as then he completes another quest. It required him as a bonus to steal one of the eggs. However, he just drops the egg again. As the Articuno turns around, he's like, hands off. I know. As Articuno's like, good. As then it's like he gains the cosmic reward. And a gigantic star appears inside of his inventory. As he clicks on it, it shoots up into the sky and explodes as the rest of the sky opens up to this starry cloud, and it almost turned the whole entire sky turned to night. It was daylight before this turned night. As the whole entire sky had turned night, of course, all three of them are shocked. Toga even lets go of her, her sort of disguise. As Articuno is like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Then it starts running around and stuff, being shells, covers its shells again. I mean, its eggs again, pushing Deku off, and then almost him being stabbed into a, icicle. He carefully dodges that until a figure comes and touches down on the top of the mountain above the cave. Toga seems shocked, even stunned. So Deku's like, well, that didn't do much. As he picks himself up and then walks towards Toga, he hears stomping behind him. A figure falls from the sky, almost like meteorites, 3 of them exactly. Dioxys. It was like something out of this world. It was aliens almost. Deku didn't really know what to do at this point. There was no real way for him to deal with this. However, then, before the Dioxys were upon them, of course, Rayquaza is not far behind on Dioxys. As Rayquaza strikes throughout the sky, lightning starts to strike as then they see a green lizard coursing throughout the clouds. It may have been night, but that's perfect hunting time for Rayquaza, as it immediately plows straight through one of them, striking down with such a force that the whole entire mountain shakes. Of course, crumbling a lot of the ice shards as they try to dodge around, dodging most of them. However, Toga being stabbed in her foot. Deku gets to her fast using some of his fairy power that he had. However, it was very weak, but they are in the same mountain, so it still works. He heals up her foot as quickly as he could, as then once he turns his head back up, all the Deoxys are gone completely. Rayquaza touches down with the tip of its tail on the top of the mountain. Rayquaza looks down upon them, as Deku is just astonished by what the hell just happened. A mission pops up. Defeat Rayquaza. What the heck? What? Defeat Rayquaza? But how? It's Rayquaza. It's a gigantic dragon. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Right? At least that's what he thinks. However, Meowth comes outside of his backpack and then hits him on the forehead. It's like, if you don't know what to do, then think harder. Think harder. And think smarter, not harder, alright, kid? Remember that. Use me. As then he's like, fine. There has to be some sort of way out of this. As then he checks up to Rayquaza's sort of perspective. Its head is bigger than the top of the mountain. Its gigantic figure that looms over all of it. He had no time to even consider that. However, he did get one idea. Defeating Rayquaza. That's an interesting phrasing. He tries to speak to the being, as he says, if I'm correct, you are Rayquaza. I met you in my last life. As Toga's like, what the fuck are you doing? We should be leaving right now. If anything, we should be turning into stone. Okay, kid? As Rayquaza's like, I remember. However, I won't be giving you just an easy pass just because of that. Though, you did bring me the Deoxys. I'll give you that. But not much after that. Why should I even keep you alive by this point? I am the hunter of Deoxys, the keeper of the skies. What is your goal, child? I will grant you one thing. But if it goes beyond my power, then, well, you know what I mean. I know what I wished for back then, in your world. I wished to be brought to my sought-out destination. However, that was only towards getting back home. This time, I know what I want. Truly, it's like, good child. Speak then. As he basically treats this like a Dragon Ball wish, you know. He's like, all right. Think. How to defeat him? That's beyond his wish, just him admitting defeat. I wish to play you in a game! A game? Chess! As then Rayquaza's like, ha! Chess? As then, everybody's looking at him like he's insane, including Meowth. However, Deku is grinning oh so smugly. I'm out of time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.